right, lads. Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Start with you, Pete.
Eddie, how disappointed are you with that result tonight?
Yeah, we're disappointed with the result, of course. I thought the performance was okay. Disappointed with bits of the first half where I felt we were just a yard off where we needed to be. Against a team like Manchester City, it's very, very difficult to implement a press that's effective because they're so good technically. I thought we were much better at that aspect of the game in the second half. I thought we disrupted their rhythm a lot better, but we just didn't have the quality today. Technically, I thought we were a little bit loose, and in and around their box, our quality that's normally there was just slightly off.
Fitness-wise, were you surprised by City after their midweek exertions in Athens?
No, I don't think. I said pre-game, I didn't see that as a huge thing. I know media probably make a lot of it. They're used to it. That's what they do. You know, they play a huge amount of games during the season, so I think they're conditioned to then perform again. And their performance was very good, I thought. And we just couldn't build that momentum we needed towards the end of the game as well. And that's quality that they have. Their ball retention so high.
Does that give you an indication of maybe that little gap you still have to bridge yet if you're going to challenge?
Yeah, I think on tonight's evidence, there's stuff for us to improve for sure. I think we'll go away and analyse the game and try and do that. A little bit disappointed overall, but because we know we can be better than that. But that's the challenge we face.
Dominic up at the back, and then Jordan in front, please.
Joe Linton looked in some discomfort as he went off. Have you got any news on him?
No news. I know what you know. Yeah, he didn't move well when he came off the pitch. Fingers crossed he's okay.
Jacob Murphy not in the squad today. Updates on social media. What's the latest with him?
Yeah, I think his partner's was due to give birth before the game. I don't know what's happened during the game, so we wish him and his family very well.
Okay, Jordan.
Just coming away from previous years, Newcastle came here, suffered heavy defeats. Coming away with a 1-0 defeat, does that show how far sort of the club has came for you?
Yeah, well, I think from my perspective, I'm just purely focused on trying to win the match. So I'm sat here disappointed. Our game plan, our approach was to try and do that, but aware that we're against the best team, in my opinion, in world football. So it's a real challenge for us. I think the main thing for me was I wanted to see a team that reflected our values and our style of play. I thought we saw that more in the second half maybe than the first. So there's stuff for us to analyse and improve.
Did you set up the Conte and City in that first half, or was it the plan to try and go at them from the start?
No, our plan was to go after them like we did in the second half. But sometimes in football that happens. It frustrated me. I'm sure it frustrated the players, but much better in the second half. Much more front foot. But you take a risk when you look at Ederson's kicking, and I have to say I thought our back four was excellent today. I thought we defended really well. We weren't perfect technically, so there were some transitions and a lot of counter-attacks to defend, and I thought we dealt with them really well.
Jacob Whitehead in the middle.
You spoke yesterday, Eddie, about kind of wanting to make sure you still played your own game. Were you happy with your side's bravery and possession in terms of playing out all of that kind of aspect of it?
I was happy with the bravery. Yeah, I didn't see a problem with the mentality to how we played. I just thought technically our game can be better than that. I thought there was some cheap giveaways. I thought there was maybe some poor decisions, but that could be due to fatigue and the fact we hadn't seen the ball as much as we wanted to. So I'm saying fatigue in the game, So there could be reasons why we weren't our best technically, but certainly when you come here, you need to be, because every turnover, every giveaway means you're having to run back to your own goal and expending more energy.
Then during the time you've seen Guardiola here, kind of in the last 7 years, how he's constantly been reinventing this 4-3-3. Is that something to an extent which you're taking inspiration from at Newcastle as you develop your own use of the system and the extra fluidity you're trying to get into the side this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always take things from every game that you play, and I've played a number of games against elite teams, and you always learn. You come away from the game seeing the game in a slightly different way, no doubt. When I review the game, there'll be a lot that I see. They're a top team. They're where they are for a reason. They've won what they've won for a reason, and it's our job is to try and close that gap and get closer to them. I think we have made strides and progress, but we've got more to go.
any specifics from games against City?
Loads. Too long to talk about.
Martin Hardy.
Eddie, do you leave here thinking Man City haven't seen this Newcastle side at its best?
Yeah, I think there's that feeling from me sat here now. Yeah, for sure. I personally think we can play a lot better than that. But there's always reasons. You know, there's always reasons. It's difficult to clearly say that it was because there's two teams. It's not just us. So your team has to react to the conditions they're playing against. Manchester City early in the game kept the ball really well, and that sort of set the tempo and the first half's momentum, and we couldn't really arrest it until the half-time break.
And is it perhaps a reminder of just how far you still have to go?
I think it's a reminder we've got work to do, yeah. But I was under no illusions anyway that was the case, and that will continue to be the case because the competition's so high.
Lee Ryder.
Eddie, is that the difference between where Man City are and where we are at the moment, that they can have an almost disappointing performance in their own sort of isolation, but we come here and lose 1-0?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously haven't looked at it from their perspective. I only look at it from ours. You know, that they'll have their own view. I can only see it from my perspective, and that's one that I know we can perform better. So I'm disappointed. And the challenge for us is when you play these teams is you have to be at your very best. You have to have learnt that over the years to get anything from the match.
And just one shot on target, is that a disappointment?
Yeah, of course, yeah, it is, because I think we had our moments. There was our opportunities. We had a 2v1 in the game with half a pitch, which is a key moment in the game. That we had a number of crossing opportunities that we didn't quite get right. I thought the opportunities were there for us. It wasn't as if they didn't exist, but we just, yeah, it was sort of in keeping really with how I felt we were technically today. We just weren't at our best.
Okay, just in the middle.
My question, with Tonali, it was almost perfect in his first game. This game wasn't as perfect. Do you think he needs games like this to understand better English football?
Yeah, I think every game that he'll have at the moment will be a huge learning experience for him. I thought Sandro did okay today. I think it was a tough game for our midfield, especially in that first half. I thought second half we were much better, reflected in our midfield performance. But I think that would have been new for him today. A lot of good aspects and stuff that we'll look at and reflect and try and help him with.
Okay, just Kieran Kelly, just in the front, second row.
Yeah, I think I was angry because I hadn't seen exactly what I wanted to see, and I think sometimes that emotion that you feel is a real positive if you can express it in the right way. I don't know if you see it. Well, it depends if I'm managing, you know. I think you'll see, you know, more or less the same style, but we just have to execute it better. And all of us are involved in that process, so it's not just the players; it's everybody connected with us. Yeah, I think he'd have probably seen the quality of the game, but I don't think that will surprise him coming from Chelsea. I think he'd learned probably a little bit looking directly at us, maybe for one of the first times, exactly how we play and what we do.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks a lot.